Send your wives to Hobby Lobby. Put your kids to bed.
Hobby Lobby. It's garage time. Let's go. I'm Devin. This is Kyle. Another episode of Garage Time coming at you.
Episode 7.
Here we go. March Madness Championship is going on right now as we speak. I just checked the score. It is 31-25 Houston with 2 minutes left in the first half.
And Houston had an amazing comeback at the end of that game to even get here.
Yeah. Honestly, I hate to discredit anybody, but Duke gave that game away.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was some of the worst basketball you can play at a wrong time. Do not be doing that. I mean, that was pitiful.
Yeah, I mean, Duke had that game in the bag.
Oh, yeah. Up 16 with 6 to go.
Right.
All you have to do is run the clock down, make some good shots, and just have quality basketball.
And as far as our bracket challenge goes, for anybody that wonders, there actually are some people that are right there because they picked Florida to win. So really depends on how that swings tonight.
And we were just talking, Kyle has 75% of his bracket right, but he doesn't have the championship right.
Right. Yeah, I don't have either player in the champion or either team in the championship tonight. If Florida wins, my wife actually passes me for the lead.
Yeah, and she got what was it, 62%? Is that what she's at?
It ain't even
and that's just crazy. Each round's worth more points. Mm-hmm. So, if you get the championship and you get the 60 points out of that, then I can catch you up real quick.
All things considered, we've kept up on March Madness. It's been on our TikTok. We dropped another hype video tonight before the championship game. But, man, I'm ready for it to be done.
I'm ready for it to be done. Let's go on to some Cub baseball.
Yes.
Speaking of Cub baseball, Kyle got out of the house this week. He's wearing a new hat. So tell us, what did you do?
So it was pretty awesome. And anybody who follows our TikTok or our Facebook, I actually dropped some videos. We were live at Wrigley Field for the opening day against the previously undefeated Padres.
Yes, sir.
Great game, cold. It was 40-some degrees. The rain held off until just after the game. But if you haven't seen it, look us up on Facebook or YouTube because the video that I have, it's about a 13-second clip, and it's when Presley throws the game-winning strikeout and Wrigley Field just goes nuts. They start blasting Go Cubs Go. It was awesome to see in person. I think it's a pretty awesome video. Yeah, truly, truly great to be a part of that. So, lots of things we did in Chicago. We'll talk about some of that later in the episode, but went to Wrigley Field for opening day.
And this is your first opening day experience, right?
Yeah, so we went a few years ago for actual opening day. But it was an away game. The Cubs were actually playing in Texas.
Okay.
And we went to the old Rangers field on true opening day and watched the Cubs win. It was cold then, too, even though we were in Texas. But this is the first opening at Wrigley.
Yeah.
So
2 years in a row. I went last year. You went this year. Garage Time's been an opening day. That's kind of cool. So you were in Chicago. What else did we do?
So we spent some time at Navy Pier. Of
That's
course,
a must.
Yeah, we had Giordano's. I stopped by the Billy Goat Tavern, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the Billy Goat curse.
Yep.
I always wanted to go. We'd never been, so we kind of stopped by. I've got a picture of that. That was pretty cool. Of course, the original is gone, but it's still the same idea. The one that's there has been there since 1940. We spent some time on Michigan. We went to the Museum of Ice Cream. That was kind of cool. More geared towards kids. But we got free ice cream out of it. Yeah, we got all kinds of free ice cream.
Wait, free ice cream?
Free ice cream.
I mean, that's worth it right there.
Every room that you walked in, and I think there were 6 rooms they gave you ice cream, including there's one. I'll put the picture in this video so you can see it. But they had hot dog flavored ice cream. And they put it on a pink bun, and they put mustard, relish, and celery salt on it. Okay, Crystal took one bite and spit it out. I ate half of it, and I couldn't do it. It tasted like a hot dog, but the fact that the ice cream was so cold and with the relish and everything on it, it was like, I can't do it.
I don't think I'd even try it.
Yeah, well, I'll put the picture up here so you guys can see it, but it was pretty unique.
Oh, man. Whew. So, that pretty much summed up the trip then?
Pretty much. We did a ton of walking. I think Saturday, because we used the L, we used public transport.
Okay.
We parked the car when we got there on Friday, and we didn't move it again until Sunday.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
I've never done that before in Chicago.
It was pretty easy. We, Chicago Transit Authority, you can buy a $5 day pass, ride any bus, ride any subway, any electrical train, and we got around just fine. It was great. So,
Well, it sounds like a good time. Good 10-year anniversary then.
yeah, for sure.
And the wife's happy.
She renewed her 10-year membership. I think we're good to go.
There we go. Another 10 years. So we'll have to see what the next 10 bring you guys.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll be in the dugout.
Right. Let's keep it rolling on to some unsolicited advice. So I brought this topic up because I do a lot of driving for work, and
Yeah.
I am getting very annoyed with drivers.
Yeah.
Pull over for emergency vehicles. It's not hard.
It's literally not an option.
Yeah.
Like-
Why do people feel like they just don't have to?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So I'm coming down Route 9, which in our area is a rural 2-lane road, okay? And there's an ambulance coming at us toward Barcelona. I'm headed toward the Good Hope Junction. This semi doesn't even slow down, nothing. A semi.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how ignorant do you have to be?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what, that 4 seconds is going to ruin your whole day?
And it's, like I said, it's a law. It's not
Right.
even an
That's,
option.
I mean,
You know, and I saw it. It's funny you mentioned that because I saw it in Chicago over the weekend. We were in a crosswalk and there was an ambulance coming. You could see it from 2 blocks away. And these motherfuckers, these pedestrians, stayed in the crosswalk.
Right.
They kept crossing, and I'm like, move out of the way.
Right.
You know, wait another 30 seconds for the light to turn, wait for the ambulance to go by, you know. And I don't think people realize I actually got a ticket for this when I was younger, and I didn't know. But not only do you have to pull over for emergency vehicles, if there is an emergency vehicle on the side of the road, you have to slow down and change lanes if possible. It's called
Right.
Murphy's Law. Not the same Murphy's Law as everything's going to fuck up every day.
Right,
But,
yeah.
yeah, I got a ticket for that because I didn't know. I don't remember learning that.
right.
But I don't understand why people don't pay attention to this.
To me, it's just like, obviously the lack of respect that goes into it. Everybody just think they're so much better than you. Like, I don't have to do this. You can't make me do this. Like,
Right.
fuck you. I'm just gonna keep doing whatever I want to do.
Everybody's always in such a goddamn hurry. But the
Right.
thing is, like, you've got to go to work. Maybe you're on your way to Starbucks. Maybe you're on your way to get groceries. I don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Right. And it may be very important. It's not an emergency.
No,
Like,
that is the emergency.
right. An ambulance, a fire truck, a police
Right.
car going by with their lights on. That's an emergency.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
You know? So I think it's dumb. I think you're a piece of shit if you don't move over. I'm sorry. And I've had both sides of this. I can't remember. Were you ever on the fire department or anything?
I was on Colchester's for 7 years. So
Yeah, so I was on Bushnell's, I was on Kirkwood's volunteer fire department and the rescue squad. And being on the other side of that too, it's like, why don't you move over? Like, especially, we got out of the middle of the night, you know, we're giving up whatever plans we have to go help somebody in a true crisis, and you're slowing us down for what?
right.
You know?
But because you think you don't have to do something. Like, and it just, I don't know why it bothers me so much. I just don't understand it. Like, why can you not pull over?
Yeah.
Why can't you?
And there's certain situations, if the side of the road's icy, things like that,
Right.
maybe it takes you a little bit longer, but make an attempt.
Right, you know.
Just
Or even if you just slow down or stop, barely on the shoulder, that's better.
Right.
Than nothing.
give them room.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the unsolicited advice. You're driving, you're coming up to a stoplight, and somebody's coming through with their lights on. Just give them the right of way.
Right.
And honestly, side note, not to get into another conversation, do the same fucking thing for a funeral.
Oh, no shit.
Let 'em die.
Yes. Same thing. That's just respecting. Like, this dude's dead.
Yeah.
Let them take him to the cemetery, you know. Like, how hard is that, too? I just don't understand. Like, I think society just doesn't care anymore. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, bunch of assholes.
Let's go on to
People
something
that watch
else.
us.
Like, I'm just going to get fired up over this,
Yeah.
so.
I might get fired up about this next one.
Yeah, this next one's a great one. So, we like beef, we like steak.
Yeah.
How do you eat your steak?
Personally, I like my steak rare.
Rare?
Yeah. I don't like the ultra rare where it's like it's still blue.
Right.
Rare is fine, and I'm good with rare. I looked this up so I didn't sound like an idiot. But rare is like 125 to 130 degrees.
Okay.
I'm good with that. If you want medium rare, if you want medium well, we're still doing okay. If it's well done, dude, just don't eat with me.
Right.
I'm sorry, but you ruined it.
So, another thing, like, I like my medium rare most of the time. Every once in a while, I might go medium.
Yeah.
Just depending on my mood.
That's respectable.
And, you know, you go to some certain restaurants and you're like, you have to order up or down because, they always overcook or they always undercook.
Yeah.
And I am a big believer that once you go back to try to cook it more, the steak doesn't taste the same anymore.
No,
it
doesn't.
ruined the taste.
And part of it, when you cook a steak at home, you got to let it rest for a certain amount of time too. So if you let it rest and then you throw it back on the grill, you're screwing it all up.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of ways to cook a steak. Some people, talk about charring the outside and then putting it in an iron skillet in the oven. Some people talk about searing it after you cook it. I think there's all kinds of options there, and I don't think that makes too much of a difference. One thing I read over the years, and I think it does matter, they talk about cutting the steak against the grain.
Against the grain, yep.
And I think that makes a big difference.
I do. Especially helps it, it gets, like I use a smoker, kind of like you do, with the same grill. It gets all the flavors to the meat versus just...
It's more tender.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's not like you're shredding it.
Yeah, right. Exactly, so, rare is okay. It's a little too bloody for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well just go eat the cow, in my opinion. So
don't tempt me.
So, no, rare, medium rare, I think that's probably the go-to.
Are you a steak sauce guy? Do you put sauce on it?
If you season your steak right when you cook it, you shouldn't need anything.
I completely agree. I see people use A1. Okay. Some people do the Heinz 57 thing. Some people do what is it called? The chimichurri or the green stuff.
Oh, the green stuff on it? Yeah.
And I mean, that's fine. But I agree with you. If the steak tastes good and it's cooked right, you don't need sauce.
So, and this is where I get pissed off with. So, my wife, ranch.
Oh, really?
Something. I'm like, why don't you eat a pork chop? Don't waste all my money on this steak that you're going to, butcher.
Yeah. See, that bugs me, too. And maybe because I grew up in a house that used ketchup on everything. Oh. I'm not a big ketchup guy. For those of you that don't know me, I will hardly ever use ketchup on anything at all. Maybe tater tots.
Maybe tater tots.
But I have 3 rules when it comes to ketchup, okay? One of them is it doesn't go on steak. You're not going to order some high price and put fucking ketchup on it. Number 2, ketchup doesn't go with bacon. And I know that's a military thing.
No.
It doesn't go there.
It doesn't go with bacon. I'll give you that one.
And the third thing, you don't put ketchup on chicken. It's just weird.
No.
Do you put ketchup on chicken?
No.
Oh, I didn't know if I was going to step on your chicken. No. Oh, you're not coming over to that.
No, I'm with you. I see people put ketchup on eggs.
Yeah, I've seen
Not big on that. Ketchup is made for burgers, fries.
Tater tots.
I
fucking love tots, dude.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, but no. Yeah, we totally got off of our steak subject when any ketchup.
We just bashed on ketchup. Next episode, maybe.
But, so, talking about steak,
what
is your favorite slice of steak?
So I really used to like ribeye. A lot.
And are you talking like the sandwich style, like the thin one?
No, like the thicker one.
The thick cut? Yeah.
There's a ton of fat, which does help with the flavor, does help make it tender. But if you don't want to eat the fat, you lose a lot of that cut.
You do.
So lately, just the last couple of years, like a New York strip or something like that, you get all of the meat that you're paying for.
Yep.
And the same concept goes, there's good steak that comes on a bone, like a T-bone or something,
right.
But you're paying for that bone too.
Right.
So I'd have to go with New York strip.
Now, me too. Basically, based on the price factor. As bang for buck, you get more steak for your dollar versus what you get out of a T-bone, a porterhouse, or ribeye, and you get the full steak. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big fat person when I come to eating steak. Right. So the ribeye, I'm with you. I cut it all off and I throw it away. Yeah. So I'm wasting $3 or whatever it is, and it's just why am I doing this? No, right. New York strip all day long.
Yeah, I think that's solid. Now, if it's like you said, a ribeye that's thin and can go on a sandwich, that's okay. There's not as much fat on there.
Right.
But yeah, I don't like paying for fat. I don't like paying for the bone.
100% agree.
So, I also like a pork steak.
Pork steak? I mean,
I think they call it an Iowa pork steak or something.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Something like that. But. All right.
Well, let's keep moving on. Both of us have jobs, obviously. Mm-hmm. And one thing that bothers me the most is when people can't be dependable on time. Yeah. So I would always taught that 15 minutes is on time. So if you show up to work 15 minutes over, you're on time.
Yeah.
Because the first thing you do when you get to work every day is what?
You
do your round, clock in, do all the bullshit. So you're wasting 15 minutes on the clock. Now, for you as a job, I don't know if it's production right away anyway. That may not matter.
There is.
Yeah.
But
if you got somebody sitting in the waiting room.
Right.
They're not wanting to sit and wait for you to fuck around for 15 minutes to do whatever you need to do.
Well, and honestly, when I get there in the morning and I log into the computer, I have lab results and shit like that waiting for me too. So there is production that I can do. But same as you. I was raised not exactly the same saying that you had, but if you show up on time, you're already late.
Right.
And it's just being respectful.
It really is, yeah.
So, and I think it's funny because we were talking earlier about how people are in such a hurry and they don't need to be, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in a hurry. You just got to plan ahead.
Yeah. Leave earlier.
Yeah, change that mindset. If you got to clock in at 8, plan on being there at 7:50.
Right.
I mean, honestly, what are you doing with those 10 minutes?
Right.
No.
So most people, especially in this area, have to drive minimum half hour.
Easy.
Most people. Okay, so you drink your coffee, you're listening to the Garage Time podcast on the way to work. You need to use the bathroom as soon as you get there.
Yeah.
That's what that 10 minutes is for. Not for you to clock in and go to the bathroom.
Now, if we're talking about going to the bathroom, like taking a shit, I like to do that later in the day because it's kind of the concept of a kneel at the end of the game. I'm just running out of clock. I prefer to do it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have stuff you do.
I'm sitting here, I got 30 minutes to burn, baby. Let's go. Yeah, legs are going numb from sitting on the shitter. Yeah.
Flipping through every fucking short we've posted in the last month.
Right, yeah. So, but no, I mean, just like, if you can't be on time, there's no reason for you to be anywhere.
Yeah, and I think that goes for work. I think there's professionalism
Yes.
for that. That goes for appointments you have. I mean,
taking the kid to ball practice.
Yeah. Show up early. Give them time to put their cleats on. Give them
Right.
time to, lace up. Just give them time.
Right.
You don't show up. Practice starts at 4 o'clock. You're not showing up at 4 o'clock.
Right.
You're ready to play at 4
3:50.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I believe it's a big society thing. Is I get there when I get there. Make the kid run for practice. Make me work 3 minutes later after work. It's like, just be on time, dude. How hard is that?
Yeah. I worked with, and what's funny is if by any chance he hears this, he's going to actually message me and call me out on this. I worked with a surgeon in the last couple of years who was late for surgery every single case. And I asked him about it one time. I said, hey, blank, you know who I'm talking about you. I said, why are you, you don't get up on time, you don't get here on
Right.
time, what's going on? And he said, you can't be late for your own surgery. He's like, I'm the VIP, you can't start without me, so I never can be late. Yeah, you're an asshole. Everybody else is running on the schedule.
Right, exactly. It's and to me, if you don't respect my time, you can't be on time, I don't respect you.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Right.
We all are taking time out of our day, whatever we're doing, to be on time, to be ready, to be precise. So can't you.
Yeah.
It's not hard. And for him, I would say that's just a habit. He don't give a shit about nobody, obviously. Obviously, with what he said, he's not going to change anything.
No, it won't.
But most people, it's oh man, traffic. Oh man, traffic. Every day is traffic.
Right.
So leave 10 minutes earlier.
If you're late every day and it's always the same excuse, especially traffic, leave earlier.
Right.
Like you just said,
Yeah.
plan ahead.
Right.
Traffic isn't surprising you every single day.
Right. No, and that's the thing. Around here in the rural, okay, harvest, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
It is hard to know where these farmers are going to be and when they're going to be there. It's I'll buy that one all day long.
Harvest.
Plant season, maybe, but
Weather in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
If you know it's coming, wake up early.
right, plan ahead.
But yeah,
It's not hard to do.
yeah. And there's occasional things.
Right.
My babysitter fell through, I had to run my kid to school. That's fine. If it's not happening every day,
Right.
those things happen. But when it's every single day,
When it's chronic,
yeah, that's your mindset. Honestly, that's your effort.
Right, exactly, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's move it on over to sports. And we got a good one for you to kick it off, baby. Anthony Edwards.
So I will fully admit, a year ago, I said, I don't watch a lot of NBA, which there's not a lot of NBA we talk about on this podcast.
Right.
But I said if there was any player that I really, really liked in the NBA, it was Anthony Edwards. I regret saying that. Because
So you're against this.
I am against the current scandal. I think that Anthony Edwards is a phenomenal player. I really enjoyed the conspiracy theory that he was possibly Michael Jordan's son. Did you?
Gotta love those.
But man, he's a phenomenal ball player. Mm-hmm. He really is. He's electric. He's a team player. He knows how to get the points. He's good on defense, but not a good person.
No, so let's get into what's going on here. So Anthony Edwards has a kid.
Yeah?
that he didn't want in the first place.
Correct.
He gave the baby mama $100,000 to go get an abortion.
Correct.
Okay, so he didn't want the kid, so that's clear. She keeps the $100,000 and has the kid. Then goes after him for child support.
Right.
Why? How can she do that?
So, it actually happened twice, which I didn't realize till I looked it up.
I missed that part.
Yeah, so December 2023, he knocked up an Instagram model. She said she was pregnant. He offered her $100,000 to get an abortion.
Right.
She didn't. Came after him for child support.
Right.
It's also currently going on. He got another content creator, Instagram model, producer. She has a lot of titles. Got her pregnant, and their baby was born in October of last year. And there's lots of clips. When she told Anthony Edwards that she was pregnant, his response was, "Get the abortion, LOL." And then when she was rightfully shocked, his next response was, "I don't want anything to do with this kid. I'm not going to be involved in their life." And now they're locked in a child support case too. So in the past, what is this, 16 months?
Yeah.
2 different girls, same situation.
Right.
And
So I don't like the abortion thing. Hate that. However, I don't understand how he can still be held accountable by her.
yeah, I mean, so he did offer with this most recent one, supposedly, he offered to pay $1 million, like all my child support up front.
Yep.
Here's $1 million. Judge said that would cover 18 years. I want nothing to do with him.
So, as the dad in me, why the hell would you ever do that?
Right.
I don't know how old Anthony Edwards is.
I think he's 30. I don't actually know.
No, he's
to be
not
honest.
30.
He's not up there yet? 27? I don't
Look
know
it up.
how old he
Google
is.
it real quick.
I'm going to Google it while he talks.
But so Anthony Edwards offered this $1 million, which is equivalent to like, I think $5,000 a month or something, for the next 18 years.
He's
Paid him-
23.
What?
23.
He's 23,
I
so
was
he's a
way
young
off.
kid.
Yeah.
But I had a kid at 20, so don't understand it. But anyway, so he offers, or does pay, right? He pays this just over $1 million to be done with 18 years and having to do with the kid. Okay, so all right, he did his dues. Not gonna have anything to do with the kid. What is different than a deadbeat dad paying something monthly and not having anything to do with it? What's the difference?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think they're both wrong.
Well, they are, but if Anthony Edwards wasn't in the BA, we wouldn't even know about this.
That's true. I mean, like you said, the dad in me, I can't understand not being a part of my kid's life. And I probably didn't understand it at 16. I probably still didn't understand it at 19 or 20.
Probably not. Yeah.
But by the time that I'm 25, you start to realize, and I know he's not there yet, but you start to realize that if you're going to have sex, especially unprotected sex, you might have a kid. And that is the risk you take, regardless. Whether the girl says she's on birth control, whether you, fuck it. We're not censored anyway. Whether you pull out, whatever the case may be, you still did the act. You still might have a kid.
Right.
And with that comes responsibilities.
100%.
And I have a problem. We've talked a lot already this episode about responsibility.
Right.
I have a problem with somebody who may not be able to live up to other responsibilities in life if they don't want the responsibility of helping raise their kid. Because there's more to raising a kid than money.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
I mean, I guess, what do? If you're this mom, you can't make somebody be a part of their kid's life?
No, you can't. And if you try, you're only going to make it worse for the kid.
Right. It's fair to ask for child support. I think that's totally fair, especially if he has nothing to do with the kid. If anything, maybe even a higher level of child support if you're not going to help at all. But if that amount is paid, and my understanding is it hasn't been yet, but if that amount is paid, I guess you just got to let it go. And it sucks, but you can't make them be a part of the life.
Right. And here's my thing, though. So this chick's getting $1 million. She should be set. Mm-hmm. You and I don't make that. We're raising kids just fine.
Right.
So she should be good. But really, it just focuses on the Anthony Edwards, as you said, is kind of being a piece of shit with this. And I have all kinds of mixed emotions on this. This is what the dude wanted. Should he own up to his responsibility? It's but there's so many people out there that go the other route with it. And you got the same side of it you got women going to get abortions just because they got knocked up too.
Well, and
You know,
he's a kid.
but he is. I mean, well,
And I'm not-
is he though? Like,
Well, I mean, I'm not making excuses, but I can say, my first kid, I was just about to turn 25 when we found out that my ex was pregnant. And in a lot of ways, I was still a kid. Like, I didn't know what it meant to be responsible for somebody else. I barely knew what it was like to be responsible for myself.
still a kid yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But, man, especially the fact that it's happened twice.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to learn some lessons here.
Right.
You can't be Philip Rivers and pop out God knows how many kids. And, which he raised his kids.
But how many of these Instagram models, women, are trapping these athletes?
So there is actually a discussion about that with the most current one, because she's got a kid with a rapper too, very similar situation.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, there's lessons to be learned on all sides.
Right. I mean, I think the bigger thing is, if you don't trust someone, probably don't have sex with them.
Right.
I mean, that'd be the biggest one, right? Like,
Well, yeah.
You know.
And I think it's another situation where we have a very high profile athlete that honestly is not a very great person, but it kind of gets overlooked because they're a talented athlete.
Right.
And
like I said, now, if this was somebody downtown, we would never hear about it.
Right.
I mean, you might hear about it at the bar, but it wouldn't be national news, that kind of thing.
I think it makes you respect players more, like Kobe Bryant and stuff that were just phenomenal. Philip Rivers, that still stood by their responsibilities.
Yep.
Because they're in the spotlight. Somebody like Anthony Edwards, somebody like Kobe, somebody like Shaq. Women are throwing themselves at them.
Oh, 100%.
So the temptation is there. And I'm not blaming the women. I'm just saying there's more people aren't throwing themselves at us. Right. At the levels that they
My
are.
wife don't even throw herself at me, man.
But yeah, I mean, it makes you respect those athletes that especially play a full career at a high level and don't have these scandals.
Right.
So I would say right now, last year I said Anthony Edwards was probably my favorite NBA player. I'd have to go with Jokic now. Give me the Joker.
Give me the Joker?
Yeah.
Well, as always, I have been a huge LeBron James fan. I'll stand by him. He's changed the game a lot, some for the better, some for the worse, which comes with any GOAT athlete,
They're game changing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on to the next thing. So, as we stated, Kyle was out of the house.
Yeah.
This next topic has to do with something what he did, and it's catching a foul ball at a baseball game. What do you have on this?
All right, so before I tell this story, I'll get your opinion here. A kid bringing a glove to a professional game. All for it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
In your opinion, and I don't feel strongly either way, in your opinion, should a grown man bring a baseball glove to a professional
Hell
game?
no.
Yeah.
If you're catching a foul ball, you're catching that damn thing barehanded. Simple as that.
All right. I'm on board with that. I just wondered because I've seen a lot of debate about this.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the closest I've ever come to catching a foul ball. We were sitting there, I think it was the 6th, 7th inning. Pop fly off. We were off of third base, right? So it comes over the net. 2 rows behind me, this girl stands up. And I mean, could I have been an asshole? Could I have stood on my seat? Could I have jumped over? I knew it was coming, tried to get that ball? Sure. But it wasn't my row. It was the closest I've ever been. It wasn't my row. But as I look back, this girl is trashed. And I've been listening to her talk the whole game. She has no fucking clue what's going on. She doesn't know any of the players. Fine. My opinion, you don't deserve that foul ball.
Right.
Just saying. But as she's standing there ready to catch this ball, I watch a guy dive over a seat trying to get it. Again, somebody's going to get hurt. Not just the guy diving, but the people he lands on. I watch a guy run over to try to catch the ball without a glove, holding his baby in one hand. And I mean baby. And I'm thinking, you're going to miss that ball.
Yeah.
I just going to hit that kid in the head.
Right.
But anyway, drunk girl gets the ball. Fine. Then she sits down and is like, Suzuki pitched this. There's a lot of issues with everything I just said. Guy catching baby.
There's so much stuff going on there.
But the biggest thing for me, and this part I hadn't told you yet, drunk girl gets the ball, it bounces around, she picks it up because she's too drunk to catch it, and sits down with 3 kids next to her.
Oh.
And keeps the ball.
Would have been hard to keep her mouth shut.
So I thought about this, okay?
All right, so give me the age range of the drunk lady.
20s,
Okay, so
young 20s.
young 20s. So
Yeah.
my first chance at catching it, whatever,
Yeah. But I thought about this a lot. If I had caught a ball, okay, because it was right there. It was 2 rows behind me. It's my wife and I at the game. I have kids at home. I catch this ball. There's kids staring at me in the same row.
Ooh, that's tough, man.
That's a tough one.
Like, can I take it home to my kids?
Right.
Or do I give it to these kids that are at the game? Ooh.
That's a tough one.
Ooh. Who hit the ball?
Bogarts. I think it was Bogarts.
Oh, so it wasn't even a Cub that hit it? Yeah, I'm giving that thing away.
Yeah, it wasn't even a Cub.
I'm giving that thing away if a Cub didn't hit it. I don't care.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, if it had been if it had been Swanson, if it had been Tucker, I probably would have kept it for my kid. Or I got to go to the bathroom, stick it in my pocket, buy a ball at the souvenir shop, give the ball to the kids.
There's been videos of the switcheroo.
Oh, I would absolutely.
People see it all the time. Like, some kid, like the video of the young kid gave it to the hot college girl.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like 12 and whoop, whoop, and she didn't even notice it. It's like, yeah. So you see that all the time. But yeah, no, I agree. A lot to unpack in this. First off, if you have a kid on your chest, lap, whatever,
you don't catch that ball.
you don't catch that ball. One, you're past the time for you to catch that ball.
Right.
Like, baseball is a kid's game. Adults can go and enjoy it.
Right.
So you're past that time. Drunk lady that's too trash to understand anything, get out of there. Nobody. You are the reason why I pick my seats to put in certain spots. I don't want to sit around that shit anymore.
That ball,
I'm 32 years old. I have no desire to be around that.
That ball doesn't mean as much to her.
No, right.
I mean, she thought Suzuki pitched it.
Yeah. You thought Suzuki pitched it, you go home. And then the gentleman diving, go home. Like,
And Wrigley's crowded.
and if you're going to do this shit, sit out in the fucking bleachers. That's what it's for.
Go out to the Budweiser bleachers. Exactly. Go out to the outfield.
That's what that stuff is for out there. Not the family sections that people are trying to bring kids.
Yeah, I don't want to see a grown man diving across people trying to get a ball.
No, exactly.
It's dumb.
So in the same aspect, we got to talk about it. It's sports season. The Chicago Cubs.
Oh, man.
I mean, going into this game, opening day that you were at, with Imanaga pitching, the Padres were undefeated. What were they, 8-0?
7-0.
7-0.
Yeah.
7-0 Padres coming into Wrigley, leave as losers.
Yeah.
Had to be a great game to watch.
Oh, it was great. And it was a pitcher's battle, to be honest.
Right, it really was, yes.
It was showtime. Their pitcher was doing well. Really scary moment at the end that Presley almost didn't get out of.
I remember you text me, why is Presley in? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the relief pitcher was doing fine. They had Hodge in there.
Yeah.
He was throwing fire, and you pull Hodge and you put Presley in with a 6 ERA, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
But he pulled it off. And not only that, we damn near swept them.
Yeah.
I mean, we should have swept them.
Should have, yes.
And Sunday, I don't know if you watched the game. That first inning of Sunday was some of the most ridiculous baseball
Oh,
I've ever seen.
God. And then, the Cubs go off to this big lead. And I don't remember what I was doing Sunday night. I was doing something. Cubs are winning. I'm like, oh, yeah, we got this wrapped up. And I look back and
7-3.
we lost. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
We did just beat the Rangers 7-0.
yeah. Is that game over?
Yeah,
it
it
is.
just popped up on my phone.
Right here, 7-0. Justin Steele, 3-1.
Yeah.
Love it. 7-0 over Texas. That's pretty good. I feel good about that.
And honestly, it's such a complete game. Like, I was watching, just seeing it in person, but also I've tried to watch every game this year. They are playing great. They're playing great defense. If the pitcher slips up, Happ is obviously going to get another Golden Glove. Looks incredible out
Dude's
there.
a phenomenal athlete, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
And then you got the middle infield. Nico didn't even play today.
Right.
They had Brett or something. I had another guy. I never heard his name before.
He's fast.
Yeah, quick.
He stole a base. He got home on a sac fly.
Workman played third tonight. So, I love to see these younger guys coming up in there. I'd like to see Matt Shaw play every game, but whatever,
Well, and they've got a great setup because you've got Tucker and you've got Happ in the outfield.
Yeah.
You've got PCA, who's fast but developing.
Yeah.
He's covered. In the infield, you've got Bush or you've got Workman or you've got Shaw, but you've also got Dansby, you've got Nico, you've got Tucker you're putting in.
Yeah.
They're mixing experience in, and they're playing damn good ball.
They really are. They really are. Very complete team baseball.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Obviously, it's still super early. What's our record now?
I think as of today, we should be 6-5.
6-5. So
I
we're
think-
playing 500 ball, which is probably going to be good enough to get us postseason ball for the division. I don't think it's overly strong this year.
The
It's
birds
really
are
gonna,
terrible.
I mean, it really is. Like, you could probably have a losing record and maybe make it, but the season will tell us. But no, I'm super excited with where we're headed, where the season's going. Obviously, can't get enough of these younger kids coming in and just performing at the right time.
Yeah, and we've got a great farm system now.
Oh, man.
The one thing that I wish, and I've already accepted the writing on the wall, and I hope that I'm wrong about it. Tucker's a rental.
Oh, he is.
I wish we could hold on to him. Dude's a superstar. He's amazing. You know, he's patient. He's getting walks.
Well, what happened today, we will not keep Kyle Tucker.
Oh, yeah.
With Vlad Guerrero getting 14 years and $500 million, Tucker's gonna. I'm not saying gonna get that, but Tucker's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's earned it.
Right.
You know, Vlad, who has had a down year, Tucker's still on the up. So.
Well, and let's be honest. When we look at our outfielders over the years, everybody who's come up for a payday, we've let go.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any exception to that rule since probably 2018 or so.
No,
Tucker's going to be more expensive than any of them.
Yeah.
And we're not. I can't see us keeping him.
No. And honestly, right field's crowded.
It is. Yeah.
You know, we got Suzuki, we got Tucker, we got Canarios. Do we still have Canarios?
Yeah. And
But he gets them back down.
yeah.
But we have guys in the farm system coming up.
Right.
So, you know, Tucker is a rental. That's painful to say.
It is.
But, hey, maybe if you go buy a jersey, they'll keep him this time.
I don't know. Every time I buy a jersey, I trade him. So I wore my Bellinger jersey on Friday.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
What'd your wife wear?
Hap.
Hap. That's her favorite player. So
She's loved Hap since he was a rookie. And honestly, good taste.
It's because he's cute. Is that what it is?
It could be. He's a hell of a lot cuter than PCA.
Well, PCA still take you 12.
Yeah.
So, but now let's move it on to the GTR.
Oh, man. We're back to my Chicago experience.
Shit. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So, you were out in Chicago and you had your first ever experience at an all-gender bathroom.
Yep. So
Clarify the all-gender.
I won't say where this was at in Chicago, but there was two bathrooms. One was labeled women's bathroom. One was labeled men's bathroom. And underneath it, it said all gender. With the exception, my understanding is that if you identify as whatever sex, that you can use the men's bathroom, but women's is strictly women's, right? And I guess if we're going to get into the politics side of it, that's probably the best way to do it.
It could be, yeah.
You know, if you're going to have an all-gender bathroom. I was nervous, right? But I had just had coffee. I had just had a questionable sandwich with some spicy food on it. And I had to go to the bathroom.
Right. This is awesome.
So, like, I walk up and I see this and I'm like, oh, man, but we're in Chicago. All these bathrooms are crowded. I got to go. So I walk in and it looks empty at first. And the first thing that I noticed, not a big deal. There's like a tampon dispenser on the wall and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, this doesn't make it seem very
Whatever,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. So I go to the stall. And I notice when I sit down in the stall, you don't mean to look under the stall. But the person in the stall next to me is wearing high heels.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, oh, I just fucking let go.
Did you? Oh,
I'm like, I can't hold. So I'm like,
able to.
Oh, I'm like,
I would have clenched so fucking hard.
It felt so weird. I'm like, I don't know. Is it because you try to be respectful of women around you,
Right.
And I had to go, dude.
But in your defense, though, you
Yeah.
chose that bathroom.
Right.
Sucks to suck. Like,
Yeah.
You're going to hear this, you're going to smell it, you're going to listen to it.
Bombs away. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah.
I might even kick your high heel and be like, hey, I'm out of toilet paper.
Like, hey.
Yeah.
So, did you feel awkward when you saw the high heel?
It was a little awkward. And honestly, brought back flashbacks. So most people probably don't know this story unless you're really close to us. At a St. Patrick's Day event 2 years ago, something like that,
Yeah.
we went out for St. Patrick's Day. And myself and a mutual friend of ours went to the bathroom. And while we were in the bathroom, we were commenting about how short the walls were between the toilets while we were urinating. And we finished, we finished in the bathroom as we're looking over the stalls. They're so short. And we come out and they're like, hey, you guys know you just used the ladies' bathroom? No fucking clue. We had just walked into the girls' bathroom and used the girls' bathroom. And it brought back flashbacks of that. Like, I'm in the wrong place. I shouldn't be here. Did I read that sign right? Like, at first, I'm going through it.
Right, yeah.
You know, did I go into the wrong bathroom? Am I sitting in the women's bathroom? Am I going to be a pervert? Am I going to be listed for this? Like, is my wife going to have to talk to security while I'm in here dropping a fucking bomb in the women's bathroom? Like, worked through that. Everything came out okay. But a real interesting experience for my first time there.
Oof. You probably handled a lot better. I would have clenched up. Like,
I can't go.
I would have been like, nope, we're done. I'll just sat there and waited. Like, nope, couldn't have done it. I'm shy anyway when it comes to that stuff. But
you just hear the awkward.
Yeah. Just so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome experience. So while you were gone over the weekend, there was a Republican event in Macomb.
Okay.
And right across the street, Chandler Park, across the street, is a Democratic protest. All right, so it was staged. You know, people knew about the event. Whatever, not a big deal. The thing is I had people from both parties on Snapchat, and I was looking through Snapchat stories and watching both parties.
Yeah.
And majority of the Republicans, those a few who were responding back, but majority of them I saw were just like shrugging it off and walking in. Like, oh, hey, yeah, whatever, you know.
Right.
Two of the Democrats I saw had videos of people in the protest following them to the door, shouting at them.
Okay.
To me, that's not peaceful at that point.
Right.
Like, you're getting up in somebody's personal space.
Antagonizing
them. If they turn around and deck you, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be accountability for you doing that. You can't just get up in somebody's face because free speech, right?
Right. At that point, you're not protesting; you're confronting.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and I saw a protest this weekend too. People outside the Trump building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peaceful. They had signs. They stood outside the Trump Tower. I don't know what they were protesting. I didn't pay that much attention. But yeah, it wasn't like what you talked about in Macomb,
right,
which you'd almost expect the opposite.
Right.
But yeah, I don't mind protest. I personally have never been part of a protest.
I won't
don't know how much good it does. If I'm being honest, but it is. You're right. If you're doing it peacefully, but when you cross that line and you're being confrontational or damn right harmful,
right,
you know, you're throwing glass bottles, you're striking,
right,
you're
that's violence.
Yeah, you're too far. That's not a protest anymore.
So what about this one? So protesters who sit in the middle of a street and don't move. I'll run your ass over. You do not have a right to protest and hold up my day.
Right, you're disrupting everybody at that point.
Hey, stand on the fucking sidewalk and protest. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. You
get out of my way, though.
You can get your point across.
I don't care if you're...
We're sorry. We're experiencing technical difficulties again.
All right. Technical difficulties once again. Oof. But as I was saying, I don't care what you have to do with the protest.
Right.
As long as it doesn't disrupt somebody's life, daily routine, all that stuff.
Peaceful protest.
Yeah, peaceful protest. All about it. I personally would never do it. I need to be at work. I need to be here. I'm too busy.
Right.
I'm not going to cut time out of everything else I like to do to protest something.
Right.
There is nothing I feel strong enough about to do that.
And if there is, I mean, I can speak my mind without putting on the show of a protest. And if that's what you choose to do, that's perfectly your right, as long as you're not infringing on anybody else's time, property, well-being, and you're peaceful about it. I don't have a problem with it. But like I said, when you're getting confrontational and you've got cameras rolling, you're trying to get a certain reaction.
Yep. And at that point, it's not a protest anymore.
It's an agenda.
But
so,
all right. Well, the next one is something I feel kind of strong about.
Yeah.
So I finished 1923 last night with my wife, and didn't exactly like how it played out toward the end. It could have been way better, you know. But a big thing I'm seeing on social media, and I kind of agree with it, is Taylor Sheridan is doing way too fucking much.
Right.
He's got too much going on, writing too many things, and his writing is starting to go down.
Right.
Like, 1923 was 7 episodes. The last one was 2 hours. 6 of those episodes were all about the nephew coming home.
And the other thing is, I just saw today, and I have not watched 1923.
Okay.
But I saw they're not renewing 1923.
No.
That he's now making another spinoff of
Right.
1914.
1944.
Oh, yeah. So I'm like...
And then that's going to be the nephew, Spencer, is going to be the main character in that one, which is fine, but like, what are we doing, Sheridan? Like, your writing's starting to get shitty. The writing is on the wall that you're doing too much.
Right.
Love Landman, Tulsa King, Yellowstone.
The original.
Yes. Yeah. Love all those. But quit doing all these little spin-offs of everything. Like you're just doing too much.
And you're not finishing any of them.
No.
You're not giving any one project the attention that it needs because you're just on to the next one.
On to the next one, yeah.
And it's,
And so, I was actually talking to my boss about this, how 1923 finished. And so this first hour and 20 minutes of this episode, of an hour and 50-some minute episode, hour 20 of it, pretty good. The last half hour, rushed as hell. Oh, they're trying to get everything crammed in, trying to get it all finished up, and it just goes way too fast.
And I feel like some of the last part of the original Yellowstone was that way too. A
100%.
lot of time that nothing happened.
Right.
And then rush through.
Rush, yep.
And some of it made no sense. Like, you didn't spend any time on truly leading up to the confrontation between Jamie and Beth, but we had multiple instances in the last couple of episodes that got to see Taylor Sheridan being a playboy.
Right. Yeah.
That didn't add to the show at all. Like, why are we doing that?
Yep.
So, I think he's pulled in so many directions right now of his own doing. I'm not saying that this is somebody else's fault.
No, it's Sheridan's fault, 100%.
Yeah, he's
just trying to be everything.
He's not giving focus to where he needs to.
Right.
So we've got a bunch of these half-hatched bonehead ideas that aren't being finished.
Right. And as much as I've loved a lot of his shows, Landman's probably, Tulsa King's my favorite, but Landman's good. But it makes me wonder, like, as we go on with these shows, are you going to half-ass that next? If that's the case, just stop now.
And he's been involved as an actor. He's been involved on really successful shows.
Right.
Like, I didn't realize till I looked up today he was on Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yep.
So that went on forever.
Right.
He was on Sons of Anarchy for a few years. One of my favorite shows. He helped write Sicario, which was one of a great movie.
Great movie. Yep.
So he's been involved in really successful things. Yellowstone being one of them.
Right. So he should know how to do this. Yeah,
he should know how to do this without dumping half of an idea here. We're 7 episodes in, cutting ties, going to the new one. Come on, man, focus.
But we're sitting here saying this. We're still gonna watch the damn show.
Yeah, it's working.
So obviously it's working for him. But I would just like to see more. And I'm one of those that once I've watched an episode or two, I gotta watch the whole damn thing.
I can't start something and not finish it.
What if? You watch it. It's just how it goes, And there's been movies that I have trouble getting through, and it might take me 3 nights to finish it, but I watch the damn thing.
Yeah.
It's just 30 minutes here, 30 minutes here, then finally finish it. But Sheridan's got a lot of great ideas. Too many, I think, going through his head. Somebody needs to grab a hold of him and be like, hey,
focus
and finish.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you have these ideas, jot them down.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And come back to them.
Write down,
Dude started writing when he was 40 years old. He's got time.
Right. Yeah.
Because sooner or later, these ideas dry up.
Right. Yeah.
Just finish one before you go on to the other.
Right, exactly.
So
I agree with that. We'd love to see, hopefully Tulsa King goes better. Landman better keep on. That's been great. I don't know. I'm kind of played out with the Yellowstone stuff. I liked Yellowstone with Costner. The others were all right. I think I'm played out with these 18, 19, whatever. Let's be done.
Sometimes when you have a great idea, and especially with TV, they start to do all of these spin-offs, and they get stretched too thin. And the one that I'm really thinking about is The Walking Dead.
Oh, God, yeah.
The original Walking Dead I really liked.
Right.
By the time it got to the end, I lost a lot of interest. But I noticed now you have 6 different Walking Deads. You have Fear the Walking Dead,
right.
Walking Dead City, A Walking Dead that's, following Maggie and Negan, but it's like you now have these 6 spin-offs and nobody cares.
Right, no one cares, yep. Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, I don't know why I'm losing views. Well, this is why.
Yeah,
you're doing way too
thin.
much. Yep. Totally agree. I didn't know whether we'd go on the same page or not. Yep. I didn't even know if we really were a Sheridan fan at all.
I liked the original Yellowstone, but to me, I don't have a whole lot of time for TV. And when I do, this time of year, I'm watching the Cubs or something.
Right.
I've got my own guilty pleasures that maybe some people would make fun of me for, some of the things I watch.
ER? You're an ER guy?
I never watched ER. Watched a lot of 90 Day Fiancé.
I don't even know what that is.
So it's basically, without getting into a whole other subject, it's on TLC, which I think is the only thing I've ever watched on TLC.
Okay.
But the idea is that these American people can find somebody overseas and bring them to America with the idea that in 90 days they have to be married. So essentially, complete strangers from another country, you have 90 days to get married. My best interest in this is that some of these Americans flip-flop and they go to the other country to get married. So you have this American lawyer from California go to Ethiopia to get married in 90 days, sells their house, sells everything, and live in a dirt shack. And it is a train wreck.
Damn.
So
you like the drama, the reality drama.
Some of it, yeah. But no, I did like the original Yellowstone, but when you start spinning off, and there was 1923 and 1887 or whatever, I got the years wrong.
Yeah.
But when there's all these spin-offs, I don't have time.
Yeah. So, we're both big Yellowstone fans.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character on Yellowstone?
I liked Casey.
Really?
I liked Casey a lot, yeah. He struggled with trying to keep part of the Dutton plantation,
right.
or ranch, sorry, not plantation. He struggled with trying to keep part of the Duttons, but he was also true to his wife and his family, but he also had that dog in him when he needed to be a badass, he could be a badass. Yep. I really liked Casey.
Yep.
Rip, kind of a stand-up guy, but I don't think Rip is a realistic character.
No. And my thing is love Rip. I can't like him because of the characters he played in previous movies.
Yeah.
Hated him in the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Douchebag dude, And then obviously, he bulked up for Rip. And but I'm with you. Casey's my favorite.
Yeah, Casey's great.
Wants to be the family guy. Wants to do the best for his wife and his kid. Obviously Costner is probably the number one, but Casey definitely, wants to do the right thing. And have you finished watching Yellowstone?
I did finish it.
Okay, so you finished it. Like what he does at the end, won me away.
Yeah.
Like you sold it for $1.25 an acre or whatever it was. It's like
you found a way to save it.
Yeah, you saved it because going back to the Indians, I guess you want to say it, who get to keep it as it is, and it's not getting turned into towers and casinos and all this stuff. So
I think the other thing, if we're going to talk least favorite character, obviously the show wants you to hate Jamie.
Yeah.
Like that's an easy choice. I did not like Beth.
What?
And I know that's unpopular.
Wow.
Beth was cool in some ways, but she's another character. And I realize the point of the show is like they're untouchable. They can get away with a lot of stuff. Right? In the world that I live in, Beth would have been in prison a long time ago.
Yeah.
Her reckless, don't give a shit attitude doesn't feel real to me.
Yeah.
Because you just fucked up, you're going to jail.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Badass character.
Yep.
But felt unrealistic.
Yeah. Obviously didn't like Jamie at all. Like, he was made to hate.
Yeah.
That was his character.
The end of the show was too sudden.
Oh, exactly.
If we're not giving away spoilers.
Yeah. They rushed the damn thing again.
Way rushed.
Yeah.
Very rushed.
We built all this time, like you said, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing. Bam!
Yeah.
All of it.
Done.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus, what did we just do?
The end of it was way too rushed.
100%. And that's the thing, like all these shows that he's doing have these 3 or 4 episodes in the middle that don't need to be there. Like, just get rid of them.
You spent a whole series building Jamie up to be this bad guy. Literally, God, I don't want to spoil the show.
Well, if they haven't watched it by now, it's their own damn fault.
Literally was involved in his dad getting killed.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Like, huge thing. You build up to this showdown between Beth and Jamie for years and years and years for a 3-minute clip.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, this is, no.
Yeah.
You rushed it.
So dad gets killed. She drives over there and she killed Jamie.
Yeah.
Like,
Short struggle with,
this could have been like a whole episode itself.
Yeah.
That would have been way more entertaining, you know?
Right.
Like, and I remember saying the same thing in every show that Sheridan's done is, what are we doing? Like, this episode was useless.
Yeah.
You know?
You either have just filler or you
That's what a
rush
lot
to
of it
an
feels
end.
like it is.
Yeah.
All right, so that's enough for the GTR for tonight. Let's go on to what were they thinking? Now, we all know bestiality is illegal. And most of the time when you hear about this, it's the male doing something to an animal. We're going to flip that.
A few weeks ago when we said there's no such thing as bad publicity, we lied. This is bad publicity.
And honestly, this influencer who is from Florida is arrested for allegedly having sex with her chihuahua.
Oh, she posted the video.
Oh, she posted the video.
Yeah. So this is the most fucked up part. She's 27 years old, content creator, social media
OF.
influencer.
Is it OF?
Probably. It doesn't necessarily say OF.
Okay.
She advertises herself on her social media as a dog mom, which I thought was
dog mom,
hilarious. Starts getting more attention. She apparently is known for taking explicit pictures, modeling bourgeois stuff to get attention.
Right.
It works. You're 27 years old. Guys are paying
Right.
attention.
Yeah.
Somebody paid her to film a sex video with her dog. And she did it. And she accepted the money. And then posted it. She posted the video. Which is
How
the
much of
dumbest
it did
part.
you
of this.
watch?
I didn't watch any of the video. I swear to God, I didn't watch any of
Whatever.
the video. And then when she was arrested, she actually said that she had a second video on her phone that she hadn't posted yet. Like, I guess trying to get herself out of trouble because they're going to go through her phone anyway.
Right.
Really dumb shit involved here. First one to agree to do this. What the fuck? The guy paid her $500.
That's it?
$500. And she had sex with her dog. That's fucked up. That's dumb. Second part that's dumb. And it doesn't matter. A dog is a dog, but it was a chihuahua. Fucking mean, for one thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that I would choose that one.
Right.
I wouldn't choose any of them, just to be clear.
Oh, damn, you done did it now. So what would you do?
Nobody is watching our shorts from now on.
Right.
But the third part of this was then she posted it.
Yeah.
Like, you only got $500, and there's not I feel like I'm starting to advocate for this. You only got
Not enough money to do this.
right, there's not enough money, but you only got $500. You did it to
Right,
begin with,
right.
and then you made it public.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't see this going bad.
Yeah. And the best part is like, so the article you sent me had a picture of her looking ashamed. No shit.
Really?
Like, yeah, I would be too if I was you. And my thing is like, so, are you really that hard up for $500 at 27 years old? Like, you don't have a job?
That's what I don't understand. And it's a whole other subject if you agree with this or not. But if she's posting explicit pictures,
Right.
if she's probably OnlyFans, let's be honest, that's
Right.
kind of the vibe I get from this.
Right.
She's probably making money.
Right. Something.
I mean, more than $500. Like, what
Right.
was this request that you're getting $500 that made this seem like a good idea?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's some fucked up shit. Like, it really is.
It's really fucked up. And then just to be, honestly, almost said something I probably shouldn't say on social media, to be stupid enough to let everybody know about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you posted it.
Yeah,
you posted it for the public. Wow. And, like, now let's be honest. So, a lot of people are going to know about this. Is she ever going to get a male to want to be her companion now?
I would say.
Like, you fucked a dog. Like,
Right.
get out. Like, and I mean a real dog, not just a player.
Right.
You fucked a dog. Like,
Do you want me to make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch? We will not have peanut butter in this house. Like, but I don't know. It's fucked up. And honestly, she's to blame, right?
oh, yeah, 100%.
But we're kind of to blame as a society too. And I feel like maybe we're feeding into this because we're sitting here creating content for social media. But in a world where everybody's trying to be trending, everybody's trying to be viral, everybody's trying to get that shock factor, trying to get attention, trying to get the likes, trying to get the follows, how far do you push it? This is too far. This is too far. Like, I will take my 27 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you. Not a single one of you have asked me to fuck my dog.
Right, yeah.
Yet. But
he's got 3 dogs, by the way.
No. No. But yeah.
One of them might be his type. I'm done with it.
No.
Oh, man.
We've crossed the lines. We're going to cancel after this.
Yeah, cancel me. I don't care. Yeah. I'm going to keep doing this.
We'll be back.
So, no, I mean, obviously a lot of controversial stuff in this episode. Some fun stuff. I got some hints on, obviously we're trying to watch our views and see, like, who's watching us. And I had several people tell me that we needed to start being more of ourselves. So that's what we did in this episode. A little bit more cussing, a little bit more...
a little bit more casual, a little more... You're getting a view of us rather than us talking about these subjects.
Right. I would like to see our sports probably start going into more details now.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks for the 27 of you that are subscribed and watching, which means 13 of you didn't watch our episode last week because it only got 14 fucking views. So fuck all of you.
The other thing is, if you're going to help us out on YouTube, and I recently learned this for obvious reasons, this is marked on YouTube as not for kids. You have to be logged in for us to get credit for that view.
Right.
So if you have a YouTube account, please log in when you watch the podcast, or YouTube doesn't give a shit.
So what I want to see is, like, so when you go to post this, put the email address in there.
Yeah.
Send us some stuff you want us to talk about. Let's see if we put it on the show. Who knows? Maybe you give us a good idea on something that we can use in the future. We have a bunch of stuff planned out. We're going to continue to go that trend. Keep watching the TikTok because that's where all the fun stuff goes. The shorts and all that stuff too, you know.
And guys, I feel like we've said this a lot, but seriously, interact. Like, comment on our stuff, share our stuff, not just so that we get recognized by social media, but we genuinely like interacting with people. Like, I feel like we've answered every single question. Comment that's legit. Every single message that's legit. If you comment, we'll be right back at you. I was ready to throw hands with a 5-year-old 2 weeks ago. So,
yes, that's awesome. Yeah, like you said, trying to get out there, we're trying to do some things, be more true to ourselves, I guess, and see if that helps out this time.
Yeah.
If not, then I guess. By the way, we are very popular in our kids' junior high. So bring it. Apparently a bunch of 11 and 12, 13-year-old kids love us.
We are a common subject in history.
Not where I want to go for it. I'd rather have older people our age interested, but hey, I'll take what I can get.
At least they're watching our shorts and not our episodes. So
yet. We don't know if they are or not, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if they had a login and they were 18.
So anyway, that wraps up another episode of Garage Time. Like us on every social media.
Yeah, again, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. You can find us on all of those. Not everything is shared across every platform. So TikTok, like he said, is a lot of the funny stuff, a lot of the viral stuff, trying to get attention, trying to get some looks. YouTube is going to be our episodes with some shorts, and Facebook's everything, man. Yeah. We've been sharing a lot of Cubs stuff on there, too. So if you're a Cubs fan like us, Facebook's the way to go.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say?
Hey, the Cubs done won today.
The Cubs are going to win today.
New episodes drop every Wednesday.